if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know I shoot Glocks. I shoot a lot of Glocks. This one is a Gen 5, set up with Dawson Precisions for iron sight work. And I shot this one today mostly because it has a stock trigger in it at the moment. You can't argue, no matter how much you like Glock or don't like Glock, that Glock makes a good gun. Many people love to hate the Glock, and so that's when something like this comes out. They love to see it. They hope Glock will die. They hope whatever. I don't know, but we today are going to have the first impressions of this, the Ruger RXM. This one is the threaded barrel model, and as you might can see by the size in my hand, is the Glock 19 size. Is that a fair comparison to the Glock 34? No, but fortunately for us, we're not comparing it to the Glock 34 today. We're just getting some initial thoughts, and then later, when I have a full-size grip and this is more comparable to a Glock 45 or my Glock 47, we will revisit this in more detail. Hang tight. So straight out of the box, I noticed the light fit is not quite the same, and the holster fit works. So light fit, not the same, but light bearing holster works just fine, and you can still access it. There's just this gap here. Like, yeah, you could run it just fine. Very nice. So we've got the first few rounds through the Ruger RXM. Did 2 bill drills, and I gotta say, even though it's not very comparable to my Glock 34 in size, it shoots really well. My first bill drill time, and it's cold, first shots of the day, but my first bill drill time with the 34 was like 2:11, trying to work through all these layers and whatever else. No excuses, but excuses at the same time, right? And my first bill drill with this, 210. Similar hits, a couple Charlies maybe, mostly alphas. This is at 10 yards, so a little farther than your standard bill drill. And then the second one, I pushed a little bit more. Don't know what my draw time, but I'm getting a bunch of splits and like 17, 18, 19 splits. So very impressive for the stock RXM trigger. And it was a total of 181, I believe. So we're going to shoot some more stuff, do a little bit of work from the holster since I have that available. Probably do a couple reloads because we go all the way back to a Gen 3 style short button, but at the same time, for me, it's almost easier to get my thumb on because of this deep channel groove and this very positive extension of a button. So I'm going to do some stuff with some reloads and see how that works out. Alright, so I know what you're probably thinking. The RXM, Ruger, and Magpul comes with Magpul magazines. Does it work with Glock mags? Let's find out. Woo! 289. And that's one of my best runs on a star in a while. .362, I kind of lost the sight on that third plate, which is a good time to talk about sights. So, Ruger has given you a set of metal sights, which a lot of Glock haters, or even Glock lovers that think Glock should put steel sights on it, would love. And it's got a tritium, I believe, a tritium front night sight, blacked out rears, a little bit higher. When we put a dot on it, we'll be able to see if it mounts up with the if once you mount the dot on it, if you can kind of semi co-witness with that. As it is right now, not the worst setup. The front sight's a little bit big, but I like blacked out rears with a fiber looking front sight, and it's not bad. I think the success for my first star was really not knowing what's going on and just trying to relax and trust the sights, follow the gun around. And then the second time I tried to push speed a little bit, maybe lost that front sight, got my hands out of whack, and had to like reel it back in. Still not bad. And yes, it shoots the Glock mags just fine. This is a Glock mag body with a Strike Industries base plate on it. All right, as we mentioned, we're gonna see how some reloads work. Probably gonna lose this outer jacket because I'm getting tangled up in it. But something to point out before we get too far, which if you followed the RXM, you probably already know, but they have beveled this out pretty well, and you don't have the typical Glock catch here. It's more ramped. So it should be interesting. Might be a little bit hard with where my grip comes on the thing, being a 19 versus the full size. So maybe more fair to judge once I have the full size grip on there. But we're gonna do it anyway and see what happens. No time standard on this drill because I'm literally making it up right now. Stand by. I'd say it reloads. Probably not the prettiest, but at the very least, I didn't have any trouble reaching that mag button. Really didn't have to think about that at all. So that's a good deal. All alphas on the right, one Charlie on the left, couple misses on the steel, but again, that's mostly me rushing, so all good. All right, we're gonna do another reload intensive drill. Make sure I have 5 or 6 rounds in each magazine here. We've got 3 targets. We're gonna draw to the no shoot, 6 rounds. We're gonna reload to the Texas Star, and we're gonna reload to the third target, which I am going to get my tape gun off of before I shoot it. All right, 9:36 to do that. Still losing the star. It's still my fault, not the guns. That's one thing that takes a lot of visual patience, and visual patience is hard when you're in a hurry. All right, so for this next drill, this is one that I came up recently off inspiration from a clip of somebody, I have no idea who, shooting on Instagram. And I can't remember if he was trying to do like a bill drill on multiple targets or like an L-Pres on 2 targets. But what I turned it into is what you're fixing to see here. Basically, I'm trying to shoot 3 shots on each of the 2 targets in the same time. The time standard is to shoot it in the same time as a normal bill drill, but on 2 targets instead of 1. .182, that fits the time standard. 1/100th off of my best bill drill previous at the start of the video, which was a 181. The hits, I've got 3 alpha, 2 alpha, and a Charlie. We're gonna do it again. Up to this point, because it's a new drill that I've started doing, I've been going just right to left, my preference. This one we're actually gonna draw to the left and then transition to the right, see what happens. We're shooting for a 182 time range to match our last one, or a 181 for our first bill drill. Okay, so that was a 172. I wish I knew my draw time, but my hits are going to be wild. Before I had an alpha, 2 Charlies and 2 alphas and a Charlie, and because the old original PCSL target's a little generous, I still have 2 alpha and a Charlie, but one's down here, one's up here, one's up here. Got a little crazy. And then as I transitioned on, I just like Delta, Charlie, Alpha, just streaked them across there. It's a good learning point though. When you're trying to push speed, and again, we went from a 182 to a 172, you've got to give up a little bit at first. You don't have to give it up forever, but a little bit at first. All right, my oldest wanted to shoot the last few rounds out of the RXM, so we're going to get over here and let him do that, knock it out. All right, go ahead and load and make ready. It's in all the way. Whichever target you want. Do you want to beep?
Yeah.
All right, are you ready? Stand by. That it?
Yep.
All right. Check it. Take your finger off the trigger. Rack it back. Oh, nope. Let it forward and keep going. Stop. All right, so that's an interesting situation. This is the first time he has ever had like a limp wrist occasion with a pistol. Finger off the trigger, please. All right, I'm gonna have to put the camera down to clear that. All right, jam's cleared. It's stovepiped, fed another one in. Should be just a limp wristing sign from him. Pretty new, inexperienced shooter. You ready to try some more?
Yep.
Okay. Let it rip. Do you want another beep?
Yep.
All right, finger off the trigger, please. Stand by. All right, we got a click. Drop the magazine out for me. It's empty this time. Go ahead and rack it. All right, we're all clear. Good job. Look here. What you think?
I like it.
You like it better than your M&P? Look here when you talk.
Still the M&P.
You still like the M&P?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everybody. That is the first, I believe, 94 rounds out of the Ruger RXM. It is in the out-of-the-box factory configuration, plus a Streamlight TLR1HL. Not a bad shooting little gun. Is it a Glock killer? Probably not. I don't think anything is a Glock killer. The only thing that can kill Glock is possibly Glock themselves. Here in a couple weeks, we're going to have, hopefully sooner, but we're going to have the long grip for it. that's how this thing's going to live. I have no use for a Glock 19 clone when I already have a Glock 19. This is going to become our fun gun. We're threaded, so we have a suppressor host in future, and we're going to go from there. I'm really kind of excited. One thing that got me wanting to get one of these is Johnny Glock was talking in a video about the trigger system on these and how they might do something for it. And if Johnny Glock puts out a aftermarket trigger for the Ruger RXM, that is probably going to go in it. But that being said, the trigger's not bad, and I think it's already broke in. Yeah, it feels like it's already like smoothed up a little bit since we got it. Yeah, great little pistol. Not a bad time. I am curious to see how this in the long grip configuration would compare to a Glock 45 in particular. I don't think it's quite a fair comparison to a Glock 47, but we'll have to see what we can do and do a good comparison video on this one in the future. So thanks for joining us again, and hope you enjoyed this video. Nothing special, not reviewing it obviously, but just a little bit of thoughts and some drills running the Ruger RXM fast, trying to get a little bit of speed on the trigger, seeing what we can do. A timer might be about time for a new one. If anybody wants to give me a timer, that would be just great, because timers can have gotten crazy expensive in some cases. But yeah, the stock trigger ran some, according to my timer, if it was working right, some 17, 18, 19 splits, pushed some stuff, some really interesting times with that stock trigger. Some good shooting, nice shooting low gun. Can't wait to get it in a full size configuration. Hope y'all enjoyed. We'll see you on the range next time. Ready to shoot?
Yeah.
All right, come here. Grab it like, hey, nope. Like this. Can you reach up there?
Yeah.
Shoot the target. Can you get it? All right, hold on to it. Daddy will pull the trigger. You ready?
Yeah.
Woohoo! What do you think? Is that fun?
Yeah.
All right. Ow. Piece of hot frag. Oh. Nope. Came up and hit me in the neck from that Texas Star on the first round.